All right. You know what, Tom? It's time to talk about the best race, the greatest spectacle in racing. This race was absolutely freaking thrilling from start to finish. Unbelievable. First thing I want to talk about, though, here, Tom. What's up with the Honduras, man? We had engine issues for what? Catherine Legge, Armstrong, Rosenquist, all in Hondas having engine issues. Unbelievable weekend for them. And it wasn't even just engine issues. We had wrecks. We saw Pietro Fittipaldi in a Honda wreck. We saw Marcus Ericsson wreck in a Honda. We saw Colton Herta, which we'll talk about that more in a minute. There's a lot to talk about there.
Hey everybody, this is Thomas from the Dega Boys channel reminding you to hit the like button if you're enjoying what you're watching. If you want to see more great content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well to be notified of any future videos coming out. Thanks for watching. Now back to the video.
Andretti wrecked as well in a Honda. I mean, basically, Blomqvist was in a Honda. He wrecked. I mean, it was like if you were in a Honda this weekend, I mean, what an embarrassment. Oh, man. I've been waiting for the Honda press release or statement saying that this is what you saw on Sunday isn't a representation of what Honda's produced, because holy cow, dude, 5.3 million people are watching that race and they're like, I ain't buying a Honda. Yikes. That was terrible. Bad stuff there by Honda this weekend. All right, Tom. It's time to talk about the Colton Herta incident here. So this happened lap 86, just before the halfway point, but I think we can honestly come on here and say that the best two cars in this race for the first half was 100% Herta and McLaughlin. It looked like those were the two guys that were going to settle it out for the win. I think it's pretty easy to point that out. Herta ends up spinning out, barely makes contact with the wing, basically just a wing issue, stalls the car. He gets out of the car. What happened there, Tom? Why did he get out of the car?
I'm not going to say that I am well versed in this, but Stephen Doughton brought up a point and he said if the car stops on track and the engine is off, you have to get out. But to me, I don't again, and I didn't even do my due diligence before coming on here and talking, but it kind of doesn't make sense to me because I mean, it would make sense, kind of, if they had onboard starters, but they don't have onboard starters. And we see it all the time where we see a wreck, and then we see the AMR crew get out with their starter, plug it up, and let them go. I don't know what happened. Steven also said that maybe the spotter was telling him that he had more damage than he actually had, and told him that we're done. What we do know is that they brought that car back to the garage, said, whoa, hold on. Put a new wing on it, let's go. Because he did go back out on track 11 laps down. I don't know. To me, my first instinct would, if there's ever a alternate universe where, I'm in that car instead of Colton, I would have been sitting there going, like this, telling the AMR crew to start me back up, at least try to drive it back. I mean, you had the best car. For sure had the best car. I think he was better than McLaughlin at that point. The way he was slicing and dicing through traffic, that car was unbelievable, what he was able to do with that. And you could tell because he would make like 3 passes, quick succession, and then he'd let the tires cool down. And then he'd make 3 passes, quick succession, let the tires cool down. Make 2 passes, tires. 1 pass, tires. And he was in the process of getting back up to the rear bumper of, I think it was Pelot. Wasn't he right behind Pelot? Or something like that?
And he was like second, third sometime at the point when he made the wreck.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I thought he was...
No, he might have been P4.
He was like... I thought he was 5th. Anyways, it wouldn't have been Pelot anyways. Yeah. But it was probably one of the McLarens in front of him. But he was pushing. He was digging. He was digging hard to get back up to the rear bumper of that McLaren car, or whoever was in front of him. But man, I don't know. If you go watch the watch party, I was kind of freaking out there for a second. Yeah. I was like, there was no contact. Get the car going. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be fair though, you're right. And maybe if the spotter was the one that told him to get out of the car, I can completely understand why he would have thought they had more damage than what they did. Because that one angle that they had, they first showed it. Me and Dallas pointed it out instantly. You were the one that saw it better than we did, because maybe a little bit too much liquid inspiration or whatever I had going on there. But it did look from that one angle that he did hit that left front tire. But then when they showed it slow-mo, he didn't touch it at all. They showed the onboard, didn't touch it at all. They showed it from a back angle, didn't touch it at all. It was that one first initial angle at full speed, made it look like he hit the wheel. And I think that is why they told him to get out, because that was the first angle they showed. And the spotter probably saw that, and he was like, we're done. And that's when he got out. And by the time the second replay came around, it was too late. It's not like you can just jump back in. You already got out. You got to get in the ambulance now. So I feel like I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the spotter here, just because I fell for it too initially. So, but Tom didn't. Tom should have been the spotter on that car. He pointed that out instantly. He's like, he never touched. So yeah, that'll nominate Colton Herta for Bonehead Move of the Week. We had to give it to somebody, and there was like 7 or 8 good incidences. I think I'll give it to him on this one, because that really, especially when he had like the best car. I mean, it was unbelievable to me. But I really, there was other wrecks. I mean, we saw Will Power crash. We saw Hunter Ray make a move to the inside of Dixon, end up losing his wing, made an incredible 360 save to the grass. That was pretty crazy by Hunter Ray. I couldn't believe that, dude. That was nuts, dude. But yeah, so there's just a lot of wrecks. But that was the whole point of this race, the whole like storyline of this race. Reliability for the Hondas. Who's going to wreck next? I mean, it was a survival of the damn fittest out there. And through all the strategies, we had so many off strategies with, what was it? A couple of the Hoyt cars were running alternate strategy. I'm trying to think. Cooter Daly was on an alternate strategy. There's a couple others up at the front that were an alternate strategy. Dixon, I believe, is one of them as well. Trying to do something different to get the track position. Kyle Larson. There's Tom. Why are people saying Kyle Larson was the rookie of the race or the rookie of the year this year for the Indy 500? He had a speeding penalty.
Okay, so I actually dug into this a little bit because I was curious. How come every year when we get a big name into IndyCar, they get rookie of the year? It's not actually where you finish. Well, it turns out on Wikipedia, you can look it up, there are a bunch of different criteria for rookie of the year. Some of them being media presence, effect on the IndyCar series itself, practice speeds, qualifying speeds, race pace, race finish. And there was something else that went along with it too. It's not a rookie of the year; it's a popularity contest.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make an argument with the practice speeds, or not even practice speeds, qualifying, and well, really just that. But
I don't think that even counts. It's the rookie of the year for the race. Like, I think it should be anything from green to checkered, man. Like, what did you do in the race?
Well, it says it in
the event.
It says it in the Wikipedia. That's all I'm just quoting what the Wikipedia said. You know, you can make an argument saying, well, it kind of goes off of performance with qualifying. Well, look, okay, cool, whatever. There's no other Rookie of the Year award where qualifying means something around the whole world. It doesn't mean anything. Practice speeds, anybody can grab a draft and get a really fast practice speed. That's not the point of practice, though. The point of practice is to get a staple car under draft and then work on your qual setup just a little bit, maybe single car speed runs. But your single car speed is going to be, I don't know, 5 to 9 miles an hour slower. Or, well, really not 9. I'd probably say about 5 mile an hour, average 5 mile an hour slower. 5, 6, 7. But still, I mean, to me, it's not really a Rookie of the Year award. It's a popularity contest. You know, Alonso. Now, when Alonso came in and did his deal, because I was there working in 2017, that man ran P3, P4 the whole race.
Yeah. And
then his engine blew up with like 20 laps to go. I mean, I kind of felt like, yeah, Alonso probably kind of deserved it. But knowing how racing works and the heartbreak of all of that, he shouldn't have won it. He really shouldn't have. But well, besides the point. Besides the point. Okay. I think Rasmussen got he got screwed, man.
Yeah.
I think Rasmussen was running top 10 all race, man.
Dude,
Top
he
10
was
all
so
race.
fun to watch.
He was good.
From practice to the race, I mean, this man, dude, as a rookie's making moves, dude. Like, how many times do we see Rasmussen 3 wide up against the outside wall trying to make a move for a position? Like, the moves he was making was so much fun. And the way I feel about Larson, he sped on pit road. He had a bad restart. He barely ran up at P6 a few times. I think he led 4 laps off strategy at the end of the race after a speeding penalty. Come on, like.
Yeah.
That's the one thing they're going to be like, oh, Larson led 4 laps. It's the big thing, dude. It's like, I don't know. I think Rasmussen really did get screwed on this deal. Rasmussen was the show. Like, he never had a winning car, never had a position to be in a winning position, but he was just fun to watch, man. It was entertaining what he was doing. And there was moments where I jump out of my chair and I'm like, he's wrecking. He's done, dude. He's in the wall. He came out the other end of the corner with a couple passes. I'm like, it was unbelievable to watch Rasmussen. So yeah, I agree. I think Rasmussen did get kind of screwed on that whole ordeal. You want to talk about the couple laps here, that Pato O'Ward, Joseph Newgarden battle, and how freaking insane that was, swapping the lead multiple times a lap, back and forth. I mean, cat and mouse, unbelievable.
That was fun. That was fun to watch. The whole race was fun to watch. I mean, like you were talking about, we had different strategies. I mean, the tires meant something. We saw actual passing, actual risks being taken. For example, Ryan Hunter-Reay. For example, Colton Herta. I mean, just off the top of my head, that was like, it was just a really fun race to watch. You really couldn't expect what to see in the coming laps. Like, it was just really fun to watch. Okay, Pato O'Ward, absolute. I mean, he had a phenomenal car there at the end, and we were really racing in conditions that none of these drivers have ever raced in before. Like, let's just take it back a little bit. We were under rain delay. Started the race at what, 4:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere around there?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
We had to get the race in before 8:15. We got the race done by 7:45. But look, we saw record. Well, I probably want to say record low, but really low track temps. We saw grip going up. We saw speed going up, and we saw desperation. And it was a phenomenal battle between Pato O'Ward and Joseph Newgarden there in the ending laps. When he was coming down the front straightaway, coming to the white flag, as soon as I saw him pull out, the first thing I said was, he's done.
Yeah, I think we all were saying that. Like, it was way too
early.
Soon. Yeah.
Too early. And you could see it on the watch party. Way too early. Way too early. Then the deciding factor there was going into turn 2. Joseph Newgarden had absolutely zero aero wash. That was it. The rest is history. There's no way Pato O'Ward could fight back from that. Joseph Newgarden with the massive IQ play there going into turn 3. He had it in his head. He's got the grip. He can make the pass on the outside in turn 3, which is unheard of. Stephen Doughton, he pointed that out. That is unheard of. You don't pass on the outside in turn 3. Joseph Newgarden, I think, very, very intelligent. Realized the track conditions, was probably being fed a lot of data from his race engineers. Made the decision that I'm going to be able to take it on the outside. There's so much grip here, and I've got arguably the best car. And boy, did he take that and absolutely sprint with it. I mean, he full out he kind of made an embarrassment out of O'Ward through 3. That was insane what he did.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, That was a debate that I was seeing on the internet. There was people were like, did Joseph Newgarden win that race? Did Pato O'Ward lose that race? I think you're right, whether what statement or the other you take. I think it's a little bit of both. I think Pato really overshot the gun there making that move. You saw him lap before where he lifted and allowed Joseph to build another gap, and he went way too soon. He was like, maybe this is my opportunity. He went for it. And then, like you said, I think Joseph Newgarden as well won that race. I mean, by that move on the outside in turn 3 was absolutely phenomenal. Made it happen. And it was, yeah, like you said, it was history from there. I mean, what an unbelievable race. I mean, we got a later race start. We're racing way later than I think that was the latest. A stat said it was the latest finish to an Indy 500 ever. I mean, unbelievable. Racing against daylight. We're racing against a time limit. Moves are just being made. Different strategies up towards the front. We saw Rossi and McLaughlin and Pelot, which were some of your faster cars. They weren't able to make moves at the end, like Pato or Newgarden. It was just sent like those two cars were the two cars to beat there at the last 20, 30 laps. Unbelievable race. Unbelievable race. I think that was the best race of the year that we've seen so far in any motorsport. I think that race was freaking awesome. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I agree.
Oh,
there's so many layers to this race. So many layers. And it was kind of hard to keep up with there for a second because of all the different pit stops happening during the run. I mean, it was just, it was a symphony of absolute, just beautiful racing. That's just what it was. I mean, it was a beautiful race.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, I am just still jittery over it, dude. I mean, we're gonna be looking back at this year's Indy 500 for years. Like the best part about it is we're not gonna get that sour taste in our mouth from last year with that one lap shootout. Like we're gonna look back at this one and it'll cancel out last year's. And Joseph Newgarden finally won it on. Well, he won on merit last year, but like nobody's gonna be able to look at it and be like, well, you wouldn't have won if you didn't have a one lap shootout. Like he earned this win, goes back to back. What is this 20th Indianapolis 500 for Penske? I mean, Penske's unbeatable, dude. Like this is the year. Like he is winning everything under the sun. And I think it all started last year when they won the Indy 500 last year. That is when you saw the turning of the tides for Penske. They win the Indy 500. Well, I guess maybe you can go back a little further. Barber last year when McLaughlin won at Barber. That's when it began. And then they go into the month of May, maybe a little behind the Hondas. They found the speed, won the Indy 500. Then, I mean, I could sit here and name off all the Penske achievements over the last 15 months. I mean, they are just unstoppable. And the next one on the docket here in a couple weeks is Le Mans. So we'll see if they can go and get another one of these crown jewel events here this season. Unbelievable race. Congratulations, Joseph Newgarden, Penske. Unbelievable race. Unbelievable battle. And now we got to wait another 362 days again for the next one.